Senior officials in Washington and Tehran have exchanged starkly different assessments of previous nuclear negotiations as the third round of talks this year between the US and Iran are set to begin in Geneva today. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Wednesday that Iran remains a grave threat to the United States. He cites both its nuclear ambitions and its expanding ballistic missile program. He said upcoming talks will focus largely on Iran's nuclear activities, but warned that Tehran's refusal to discuss its missile arsenal remains a major obstacle.
Iran possesses a very large number of ballistic missiles, particularly short-range ballistic missiles that threaten the United States and our bases in the region and our partners in the region. And all of our bases in the UAE, in Qatar, in Bahrain. And they also possess naval assets that threaten shipping and try to threaten the U.S. Navy. So I want everybody to understand that beyond just the nuclear program, they possess these conventional weapons that are solely designed to attack America and attack Americans if they so choose to do so.
Vice President J.D. Vance backed the administration's position, saying the United States has seen evidence that Iran is attempting to rebuild elements of its nuclear program following last year's US-led strikes.
The principle is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. If they try to rebuild a nuclear weapon, that causes problems for us. And in fact, we've seen evidence that they have tried to do exactly that. So the president sending those negotiators to try to address that problem, as the president has said repeatedly, he wants to address that problem diplomatically, but of course the president has other options as well.
Tehran, however, insists its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes only. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said progress is possible, stressing Iran will not give up its right to peaceful nuclear technology under the Non-Proliferation Treaty, but is ready to address concerns and build confidence.
There are American bases in the territory of some of them. They have made sure that they won't let their territory, their waters, their airspace would be used against Iran. To some extent, I don't know how much that can be controlled. So we are grateful for their positions. I hope that would remain the case. But if, God forbid, the US decides to attack us, then their bases in the region would be a legitimate target.
The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency added another layer of concern, warning that uncertainty over Iran's enriched uranium stockpiles creates risk.
Let's not forget that when previous military episodes occurred, when Iran responded to that fire, there were targets hit in Qatar, for example, because there are US military bases in many of those places. So the concern already goes beyond Iran's territory and becomes a sub-regional concern.
In the background is a US military buildup with warnings a week ago from US President Donald Trump that he was giving Tehran about 10 to 15 days to make a deal.